Well, Chicago Bears do what the Chicago Bears do, and that's not win football games. Chicago Bulls, they got a win last night. It was ugly, but they got it. Q, what up?
What up, Kev?
Hey man, we're gonna talk about the Bulls, the Bears, and every other team right after the intro. Oh, I didn't even press the intro button. That's weird. Here it is. All right. Good morning, Chicago sports fans. Welcome to another episode of Chi-Town Sports Central. We appreciate you guys for the likes, follows, and shares. Go ahead and comment as well. And we got to talk about it. I don't want to talk about the Bears, but we have to because it's just part of our job, and it's what we do every morning. We take a small dose of insanity. How you feeling, Q?
Annoyed. This team is exactly like I talked about yesterday. This team is one of those teams where it's just when we play bad, it's hard to watch. It is truly a bad, sad thing to watch when our team just looks bad, our offensive line looks bad, the receivers look bad, Caleb looks bad. It's just a terrible team game overall.
Yeah, as you all know, I chose to watch the Bulls game. I did the live call over on South Bulls podcast. And the Bears, bro, get this. This is the fifth time this season that they've been shut out in the first half. You've played 14 games, and five of them, almost 30%, more than 30% of your games, you have not scored a point in the first half. Like how
How does that even
embarrassing is
happen?
that, bro? Like how do you not kick a field goal? How do you not score a kick return, a punt return, or like how do you go an entire half five times in a season and not score a single point with the number one overall pick at quarterback, the number nine overall pick at wide receiver, veterans and DJ Moore and Keenan Allen at wide receiver. You got too many options, too many weapons, too many opportunities as a football team to go out there and at least score some damn points, and you go five games in a season and the season still got three games left. Like, what are we talking about here? 0 points in the first half again. So, frankly, as I'm sitting over there doing the Bulls game, I ain't missed nothing.
I'm not gonna lie. I called that in Chicago Bears Central pregame. I said they weren't gonna score in the fourth half. I knew it. It's who we are. We're a team that just like we feel like if we just stay close, the second half is where we're gonna step up and become that team. I don't know what it is. It's a weird mindset. This whole team is just trash. It's like you said. How do you do this as professional? You get paid millions of dollars and you can't score once in the first.
Bro, I think it's three games in a row. If I'm not mistaken, they did not score in the first half against Detroit. They were down 16 to nothing. They did not score in the first half against San Francisco. They were down 24 to nothing. And then you don't score in the first. That's three straight games of not scoring in the first half. Wow. Wow, bro. It's like every single time we say this all the time, Q. Every time we think they can't reach a new low, they reach a newer low.
Maybe it's us. Maybe it's not even the. Maybe it's the fans. Maybe we're the problem because that's the only constant. The quarterback's always different. The coach is always different. The offensive coordinator is always different. Different front office. Different player. We're the only consistent here. Maybe it's our fault. Maybe we're the trash people.
I mean, I am not about to sit here and victim blame. I'm sorry. We're the victims. The Bears fans are the victims. We are the ones being abused. We are in an emotionally and possibly physically abusive relationship with the Chicago Bears. There's no way it can be on the fans. I mean, poo poo on us for constantly rooting for this trash. I'll give you that. For not deciding to just not go to games. Because that's what happens with Chicago sports in general, except for the White Sox. The White Sox was barely able to field 20 people in the stands after a while last season. But the Cubs can be trash and they still gonna sell tickets. The Bulls can be trash and they still sell tickets. And the Bears are trash and they still sell tickets. So as long as these teams are still being profitable, they don't care really. Like they say all they want. The Bears top brass say, "Oh, we're gonna get better. Oh, we had to fire Eberflus because this." Like since Eberflus has been fired, the Chicago Bears haven't like they went from being 3 points away, one score away, so on and so forth, to literally getting blown out in every game.
Yeah, no, now it's just the worst thing possible. Now they don't know what to do. The offense is continuing to look bad, but now the defense looks terrible. This is just we don't have a defense now. We don't have an offense. We have nothing.
I mean, the defense was solid in the first half. Yesterday, they only gave up 13 points. You would expect your team to at least be able to score seven. And then when they did get a chance to score, you got a person that didn't even line up the right way or announced that he was the fullback or whatever it was he was supposed to do. He didn't do it, and it took away a beautiful touchdown that would have put the Bears in position to at least make the game interesting. But
Yep.
it just goes
Also,
how
our left tackle, the left tackle we drafted, throw his ass away.
you talking about Abendaje.
I can't say his name. Yes, I know he's from Illinois. Throw his ass away.
You don't
Like send him
like
home.
And that's a
Like
Ryan Poles thing, though. He decided to go in the third round and draft a offensive lineman from Yale who was already injured.
just
Like, and that when he drafted him, if you go back and watch our draft coverage, I know for one that I was confused. I'm like, who has he played? Like, of course he protected his quarterback 100% of the time because he played at Yale. Like, what are we talking about here? Ivy League football? What? It's tougher players on the lacrosse team than it is in Ivy League football. Are we serious here? Like, are we being serious? Like, Ryan Poles really reached with that one in the third round. Really reached where you could go get some dogs that played in the Big Ten or the SEC or the ACC or the Pac, whatever. You decide to go to the doggone Ivy League. Like, what were you sipping on that night when you was looking at his tape? Had to be some real good whiskey.
I need a Samoan. Give me a 296, 300-pound Samoan who just sits there. Nobody gets past him. Like this is like it's not even just the flags that this man caused. He was just letting defenders run past him.
Just big for no reason. Can't calculate. How you go to Yale and we can't calculate your footsteps properly, my guy. Ugh. And Caleb though, like we can't get Caleb gets no
No.
pass. Man, you sitting there looking at wide open receivers and not throwing the ball. DJ Moore again had a touchdown that you could have thrown to him that you just looked at him and didn't throw him the ball. Like,
Yep.
how are you gun shy at the very least? Like, it seems like Q real quick. It seems like he's trying to at least not throw an interception for the rest of the season. And he got in the back of his head like, well, at least I didn't throw no picks for the last six, seven. But you ain't throwing touchdowns either, fam. I'd rather see you at least trying to throw touchdowns and they get picked off as opposed to you holding on to the ball and missing wide open receivers, bro.
Yep. And I think sometimes he's also just trying to do too much. Like Caleb at this point is so busy trying to find the big play because we're down that he's passing up on easy passes to see if there's a bigger pass available. And this is the NFL. It doesn't you can't do that. If you miss a split second throw, there is no more opening for the rest of that play. Like it's a
It's
you see it, you throw it. That's all you get.
It's insanely annoying. And that's why I told Steve O yesterday that I was protecting my peace. And I think I did the right thing. I watched the Bulls game. I enjoyed watching Julian Phillips and Matis and all those guys go out there and perform, even though they tried to lose, but they ended up winning. It is what it is. They beat a bad Toronto team. Felt good to watch some Chicago sports team win, even without Zach LaVine out there. We got a W. So that was fun to do. Then I chilled. I went and ate some food. I cooked some nice chicken and potatoes and some pasta and chilled out for a few minutes, ate the food. took a shot of tequila. Then I joined the Bears game for the end of it. Like, let me just jump in real quick and see how the guys feeling. And it felt good to not have to sit and watch 4 quarters of ineptitude for the Chicago Bears.
See, I watched the Bulls, did my video on my channel, took a little second, got relaxed, laid in bed, comfortable, and then I watched the replay, and I just fast forwarded through anything that wasn't a play, and it made my life. It was like, yeah, we lost, but I didn't have to sit here and watch, 12 minutes of commercials. I didn't have to
Listen,
watch all the talking, all the walking around. I just got to watch the plays. Like it made my life so much simpler.
and listen, the defense didn't do bad, man. Like Sam Darnold had 24 for 40 for a 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Justin Jefferson was held in check, 7 receptions for 73 yards. Like if this offense had showed up at least just a little bit, we're talking about a different scenario. But because they didn't show up again, we all right, if y'all want to hear like more spirited conversation about the Chicago Bears, head on over to Chicago Bears Central where Hayes is definitely holding it down. Bobby, Steve-O, myself, C Dub popping in and out as well. But yeah, man, it's rough. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be an interesting mailbag, couple of mailbags this weekend too. So moving right along to the Chicago Bulls. Last night, yeah, you had several people in double figures. And matter of fact, let me pull up the numbers, and it was actually a good game. Even though the score was 122 to 121, um, the Chicago Bulls pretty much dominated this game. They were up by 10 for most of the second half, and then they allowed Toronto to fight back late in that fourth quarter. RJ Barrett had himself a game, but we expected that. I thought he was going to go for at least 40, but he ended up with 32. And you had Grady Dick decided to get hot in the second half himself. He ended up with 27. But the Bulls did just enough to get the W. You had Nikola Vucevic controlling the pace with 24 points. Kobe White had a solid game. It was up and down for him, frankly. A lot of turnovers, a lot of bad shots, but he ended up with 19. Io and Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey got hurt. I'm not sure if we heard how severe that injury is, but it looks like it was a high ankle sprain from the way he was holding it. But at the end of the day, the bench came in and gave you a very, very spirited effort. Lonzo Ball with 8 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists and 6 rebounds. Julian Phillips with 10. Taylor Horton Tucker with 15. Montes Buzelas with 7, and Jalen Smith with 10. Really, that's what won the Bulls the game. The bench, the starters did their job, but the bench came in and exceeded expectations, and it led to a win. And that's all you can ask for from this Chicago Bulls team.
I mean, yeah, it looks like it might have been a pretty bad issue with the ankle. I mean, the scary part is this is the same ankle he injured during the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
So like, the more you injure something, the worse it gets. So that's not going to look good. But yeah, the Bulls played great. I mean, at least the young players did. I'd love to see this team when they're actually working together. They're looking good. Sometimes when Zach's not on the court, the Bulls look like a different team as far as how they pass, who they're looking for. They're looking more like team ball. So I'm happy with that. The issue here is I think the Bulls look the best when Lonzo's out there, and we're not going to keep Lonzo.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, bro. I think we need to find a way to keep him. Whatever contract he gets offered, just match it. As long as it's not,
Yeah.
a bunch of money. Obviously, we're not trying to sink more money into this investment that hasn't really worked out. But at the end of the day, I want to see Lonzo Ball play basketball for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, like he has an IQ you cannot teach. And the end of the last game, he did something that I don't know a lot of people like. I know like you, Hayes, like people who watch basketball probably saw it, but the casuals don't realize it. The last two plays really of this game, Lonzo did the exact same play because he knew exactly what the outcome would be because he knew the mismatches. He stopped, he let time run down, he passed it to the opposite wing. First it was to THT, then it was to Kobe, and Vooch is wide open in the paint with a guard on him.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked the first time. We didn't pass on the ball. So he came down and said, we're going to do it again. And y'all
Mm-hmm.
going to pass on the ball this time. Like, that's what a point guard is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You see something work, you run the same damn play until it
Yeah.
doesn't work.
because
Like,
we know the coach ain't gonna do it.
he called Billy off. Billy was
Yeah,
calling a different play, and he
yeah.
waved him off to
I'm
rerun it.
I'm telling you, you know the coach ain't gonna do it, bro. You got to be the coach on the court, and that's what Lonzo Ball is. And with Josh Giddey being out for the foreseeable future, we don't know how long it's gonna be. Expect to see a lot more Ball, and it's crazy to have. You had Dick and Ball on the court last night, and the people in the comment section was going crazy with that. Man, he
Wait,
could be look.
there was a moment. Stacey King on the broadcast say he got hit in the head by Dick, and I died.
Mhm. Just a little
Like,
bit. That's just
you know
you
he
know
did it on purpose.
we're just severely immature, man. Listen, the Bulls are staring down possibly a 5-game losing streak coming up. They got the Bucks, the Hawks, and the Bucks coming up in their next 5 games.
Yep.
Now they're on the road for the Celtics, then they're at home for the Celtics again, then the Bucks. Then they're on the road for the Hawks and the Bucks, and then the Hornets as well. 3-game uh stretch to end the month on the road. So man, it's a chance that they lose 5 in a row or lose 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 6, because all of these teams are playing really really good basketball, with the exception of the Hornets. But the Hawks are playing a lot better. The Celtics are the Celtics, and the Bucks are playing way better than they played. Start the season. So it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, the Bucks are starting to get it together. The Celtics are that team. The scary part is there's a game that we don't have Lonzo or Giddy,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
just
That's
get demolished.
well, because now you got Saturday, Monday, Thursday,
Well,
Saturday, Monday. So yeah, there are
depending
no
on
back
how
to backs. There are no back to backs. Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday. So no
yeah,
back to back. So you got Lonzo. At least if he doesn't get hurt, you got him over these next 6 games. So we'll see
yeah,
how it goes. If you guys want to hear anything else about the Chicago Bulls, head on over to Chicago Bulls Central, where Hayes is holding it down. Then Shot Bulls podcast, where Bobby and C Dub take care of business over there. If you missed the Bulls game last night because you were watching the Bears game, just head on over to Shot Bulls podcast and catch your boy on the live call. Blackhawks in action tonight. They play the Washington Capitals, so we'll just go ahead and chalk that up as a L. Even though the Blackhawks have been playing better, the Washington Capitals are almost the toast of the National Hockey League. It's going to be rough. But they are at the crib. Blackhawks play spirited hockey at home. So if you want to catch up on the Blackhawks, head on over to Chicago Blackhawks Central, where there have been daily analysis there. Chicago Cubs, we're still on Bellinger watch. Belly watch. Is Cody Bellinger going to be traded to the Yankees? We're going to find out sooner rather than later, I guess. Last year, it took forever for the Cubs to even re-sign Cody Bellinger. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's pretty much what's happening on the north side. And on the south side, not much is happening. The White Sox are still looking to maybe to trade Luis Robert Jr. Perhaps, maybe. But right now we're still just basking in the glow of the trade that they just made to jettison Garrett Crochet to the Boston Red Sox. And the White Sox could be in the front runner to get Roki Sasaki. That'd be dope if he does that. That'd be really interesting for the Chicago White Sox. So it is what it is. We're gonna close out with the Chicago Sky. Q. Angel Reese is getting ready for her the 3-on-3 basketball league. What is it called?
unrivaled.
Unrivaled. And she decided to change her trainer to David Alexander, who's worked with several sports legends, including LeBron James. So basically, Angel Reese definitely has to get better offensively.
Yep.
That's just the reality of it. She has to get stronger. She has to get her footwork down in the post. She got to finish around the basket because although people were trying to making it overblowing and saying, "Oh, she picks up a lot of rebounds on her own misses," but the reality is, we know she can rebound that thing, but we need to see Angel Reese be more consistent as a scorer around the basket, and maybe this David Montgomery pairing with her could help her.
I mean, yeah, if she becomes a better scorer, she becomes scary. I mean, I don't think she'll get too much better this year. Like, it's not going to be a year over year type of change. That's just people who expect it are going to be crazy. Um, But yeah, it says a lot. It says she's actually trying to do her best to get better. She knows what she needs to improve on. She has a plan. She's doing unrivaled. She's getting her workouts in. She's serious about it. As much as the haters want to talk about it, she's doing everything you can ask for a star on your team to try to become better for the next season. Whether that'll work, who knows? We'll see. What she needs to do is learn some post moves
Hmm.
because this sitting in there and just bumping people and throwing the ball up, hoping it goes in, ain't helping. So learn some footwork, learn how to pivot, do something there. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I mean, she got nothing but up. She's already rebounding better than everyone else in the entire league. So, I mean, if you're already leading a stat as a rookie, nothing but up.
And honestly, this unrivaled situation is going to benefit her as well because you're going to see, it's 3-on-3, so you're not going to be running up and down the court. You're just going to be working on cutting, back setting screens, back cutting, shooting the
Yep.
corner three, shooting the mid range, working with your teammates. And honestly, this is going to benefit her a great deal because she's about to be playing with some of the best players in the WNBA, 34 players. So, and coaches as well. So she's about to basically be playing an all-star game every week. And she making some money while she's doing it. So it's a solid situation for her, man. I'm excited to see how she develops over the next few months. And hopefully her twin, Camila Cardoso, is out there taking care of business too, getting better as well. Because we need both of them to be, and we need Kenny Carter back for sure. But if we get that
Please.
three-headed monster on top of getting one of these dope young point guards from the draft, look out for the Chicago Sky. All right, if you guys want to hear anything else about the Chicago Sky, head on over to Chicago Sky Central with Hayes and Steve O Speaks. All right, I believe we touched on every team. Like the other day, my bad, I forgot to mention that the Blackhawks won over the weekend, but it is what it is. All right, y'all already know. Type in your favorite Chicago sports team and put the word Central behind it, and there you have it. We also have NBA Central. There's a possibility that Dub is going to do a live call over on NBA Central for tonight's NBA Cup final between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Oklahoma City Thunder. All right, Q, you got anything else to say to the game?
Pray, drink your liquids, be healthy.
And stop
That's the most
watching
we can
Bears
ask for.
game, man. Stop watching Bears games. Don't let it ruin you,
No, you
man.
can watch them. Just watch replays so you can skip all the shit you don't want to see.
All right, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. We appreciate y'all. Peace.